Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to take kind of a deep dive overview impressions of the Jack Wolf low drag jack. This is my first Jack Wolf slip joint, and I will just tell you it has quickly become my most carried, my favorite. Um, it might be replaced by another favorite that comes in. But guys, before we jump into this awesome modern slip joint, I'm going to ask if you like this content, please hit that subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it. It would really help the channel out and keep you updated when I release new content. So this particular Jack Wolf is the low drag jack. I'd actually set out to get the Feel Good jack and found this in the gold shred carbon fiber, which I thought was long sold out at one of the retailers. And this has kind of been a knife that when I first saw the Jack Wolf knives and first started to get kind of intrigued by slip joints, even though I didn't think I needed to go this route because I felt like it would tap something in me that kicked off my collective brain screw, and I would be collecting all of them. And I can tell you, when this knife came in, I have been nothing short of blown away. You know, I knew it was going to be a very nice knife. I knew it was going to be well done. I knew the shred carbon fiber was going to look nice. However, I didn't know it was going to be this smooth in the transitions, and I didn't know it was going to be so pitless. I knew it was a titanium bolster and liner construction, but I had no idea that the fit and finish was going to be this well done. And I knew it was an S90V blade that was very slicey, but had no idea that it was going to be this thin behind the edge, look this good as the belt satin that runs vertically down the blade. I didn't know it was going to have this nice little swedge here on the blade. And I didn't know the walk and talk was going to be so just for me, who has examined, and I'll show you some that will do some size comparisons later, just kind of a wide array of different slip joints in various prices, none at this caliber yet. But the walk and talk on this knife is unlike anything that I've felt before. So really, I'm very impressed with this knife, so much so that I may have another Jack Wolf coming in early next week. We will see if I decide to pull the trigger on that or not. But basically what we've got here is we've got Jack Wolf on one side, and on the other side, if I'm not mistaken, it is the blade steel S90V, just kind of in a unique font there. I don't have any coupon paper. I do have some regular just paper. And this thin hollow grind, guys, and the way that this knife pulls material into the blade, it is just a very enjoyable, therapeutic, fun, effective slicer. I've heard that about all Jack Wolf knives. I knew that was going to be the case, but experiencing it takes it to a totally different level. So, with that being said, I can honestly tell you guys that I have no regrets picking up this particular knife. Um, I don't think that I'll go crazy on all the Jack Wolf knives. That's yet to be seen. But I know there are a couple others that already have my attention, that have my eye. One of them that's actually inbound, but you know, we'll save that for another day. Again, it's just a really well done knife. Don't know, and really at this point, don't care who the OEM is. Ben's going to keep that to himself, and for whatever reason, I don't blame him. He has that right. Whoever it is, they're doing just an amazing job. I was at Blade Show last weekend when this is being filmed, and went over to Jack Wolf's booth, and like everyone else, was met with the surprise of the Gunslinger Jack, the liner, or not liner lock, the bolster lock version with the front flipper. That is definitely one of the Jack Wolf knives that I'm looking to possibly jump on the 16th. Um, However, I was there more to see the slip joints and to experience the slip joints again because I had at Blade Show last year. But at the time, I was not in the slip joint buying market really. I wouldn't have considered myself someone who was interested in slip joints. Since then, as you guys know, I've kind of dived into a few slip joints, picked up several from different makers. And after hanging out with Ben, seeing his enthusiasm firsthand, talking to him about his knives, handling several of these knives, I became just a member of the tribe, right? Of the Jack Wolf tribe. I didn't buy this at Blade Show. I came home, and like I said, I was looking for a different knife online, came across this and picked it up, and have absolutely no regrets. Do a couple of real quick size comparisons to just some regular modern folders so we can get an idea of the size of this guy. That is the Benchmade bug out, and you can tell that the low drag jack is going to be smaller than the regular Benchmade bug out. We can put it up next to the mini bug out, and we'll see that it's right about the same size as the Benchmade mini bug out. So that'll give you an idea before we measure it. Let's look at a couple of slip joints that are going to be varying sizes. We can look at some of my favorites, the Cuvist Vanish, excuse me. The traditional pocket knives, Ohio River Jack, the Tucson TS197, a really good knife, guys. And then finally, we'll look at it next to a traditional little Boker Barlow. So as you can see there, it's going to be about the same size as the Ohio River Jack. It's going to be about the same size as the little Tucson TS197. It's going to be bigger than both our Cuvist, and it's going to be bigger than our little Boker. So let's get a couple of quick measurements on this knife for you guys and a weight, and then we'll kind of let you go from there, and I'll give you my final thoughts. We'll use the Javon promotional free tape measure, and we'll see that this knife comes in right over 6.5 inches, like right over, and the blade is coming in at 2 3/4. The handle is coming in at 3 3/4. To that front choil or the front ricossa, you're at 4 inches. When I say you're at 4 inches, I mean from here to here is 4 inches. So I've got every bit a full grip. And again, this walk and talk is so stiff. This knife is not going to accidentally close into my hand. The ricossa is going to stop it, and the spring is very, very stiff. So let's get a couple of quick behind the edge measurements here. All right. So at the back of the spine here, you are at 0.1240. At the bottom of this hollow grind, come down to 0.0140. So yes, it is very, very, very slicey. I don't know if you guys can hear when I put a little thump on that blade. That hollow is so thin, you can literally almost feel your fingers through it. Let's get a real quick weight on it, guys. The knife is 2.3 ounces. And if we are to drop it in our Jack Wolf sheath, it is 2.9 ounces. And that's how I carry it. I haven't upgraded my sheath yet. I've got some other slips that would work with that knife. I've thought about picking up some, but I've also thought about just keeping them in the Jack Wolf slips. Um, Again, just part of the collection, part of the way. Who knows? We'll see. I've got other slip joints that are in dire need of slips, and switch a few of them out. So we'll see what happens with the Jack Wolves. But guys, if you're into slip joints and you've thought, yeah, that's a lot of money for a slip joint, I totally get it. I wrestled with it for months, ever since I got back into slip joints or got into slip joints. I started looking at the knives I was buying, and it's just kind of what I preach with budget knives. I bought 3 Bokers, one of which is this Barlow that I love for 99 bucks. They were on sale. Um, that's the same price as one Jack Wolf. So when I got to thinking about it after spending time with the knives at the booth, I could see the quality, I could see the value in the materials, in the fit and finish, in the overall thought and design. And just in all truths, I wanted to support Ben. I mean, I think these knives are great. I think what he's done is revolutionized kind of the resurgence of the popularity of slip joints, if that is such a thing. It definitely has to me. It's been a big influence, even though I didn't buy one until just now. It's kind of driven my quest, right? But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon if you were so inclined. And thank you for looking out for the guy or gal to your left. Thank you for looking out for the guy or gal to your right. Thank you for looking out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.